Winner.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to Geneva High School, where it's round one of IHSA regionals. The York Dukes are taking on the Geneva Vikings here. And Zach, this is a very exciting matchup for the Dukes to start off regionals with.
Yeah, definitely. The Dukes coming off a mediocre season at best, hoping to finally put something together here in the early stages of the playoffs and maybe push their way to the finals.
Absolutely. The Dukes start with it. Silkitis down low, can't get the shot to go. It's taken away by the Vikings. Here they go the other way. Ball is too far there. Turnover for the Vikings.
Yeah, from Larmer there.
Larma takes this one away. Kehoe over to O'Brien now. O'Brien gets stopped. Now to Silkitis. She fakes. Goes inside. Out to Kehoe. Kehoe over to Larma. Now to O'Brien. O'Brien going inside by herself. Tough move, won't go.
Great move, pushing her defender, getting into the lane, driving past the other defender. Just a little too hard off the glass.
Sweeney for three, no good there. She gets the offensive rebound, gives it up top now to McCann. McCann gives us one down low, but it's intercepted by Filosa. Here come the Dukes. Filosa taking it by herself, drops it down low to Kehoe. Shot off the glass is good.
Great job from Filosa, getting the steal, coming down the court. Great pass.
Ball still in the backcourt now. Geneva able to get it across the timeline. McCann gives this one over to Sweeney. Now back to McCann. Over in the corner now. Three ball from McCann is no good. Offensive rebound back outside. Sweeney for three. Just off the mark. Foul called down low on the Dukes.
A bunch of the players going up for the ball. Unfortunately, over the back call on Geneva there.
O'Brien getting tied up there, and that'll be a foul called on Webb.
Geneva's got to be careful on the fouls early often in the game. Already down 5 and already has 2 team fouls this early on.
If you're the Dukes, everything seems to be going very well so far. Been successful on most of your possessions. We'll see if they can capitalize here. Silkitis over to O'Brien. O'Brien back down low to Silkitis. Bounces over to Filosa. Filosa, three-pointer, no good. Kehoe fighting for the rebound. She gets it. She strips it away. O'Brien. O'Brien dribbles this one over to Silkitis. Now back to O'Brien. What a great recovery there from the Dukes.
Dukes really taking their time.
Silkitis in the corner for three. Airballs that one, and it's taken away by Webb. Here comes Geneva on a fast break. Down low pass, shot no good. Offensive rebound, back outside. Two-pointer off the mark there. O'Brien fighting for the rebound, and it's going the Dukes' way.
Another over in the back on Hecker. O'Brien had that in her hands clearly, and that was definitely a foul. Dukes on that last possession. I love the great movement, all the off-ball and on-ball screens from the team.
O'Brien gets this one stripped away there. Another turnover force. They'll wave off that basket. They'll call that foul on the floor.
O'Brien, unfortunately, turning the ball over there, doing a great job. Sometimes the foul's better than letting up a couple points.
Ball is stolen by Kehoe. She's taking it the other way and gets it to fall.
Dukes off to an amazing start this game. 7-0, 4:42 left on the clock in the first quarter. We haven't seen a great performance from the Dukes like this for a long time this year.
Everything seems to be gelling very well. They're in playoff mode. Ball almost stolen there by Silkitis. Wide open lane there from Peterson. She can't get the layup to go. Whistle blown. Substitutions being made here by Geneva. And a timeout called by the Vikings. They are down 7-0 now with 4 minutes and 23 seconds left here in the first quarter. Don't go anywhere. You are watching York Sports Network. Back here from the timeout called by Geneva. They have the ball now. Post-up move, kick outside to McCann. McCann down low. Ball is stripped away by Larma, and it'll stay with the Vikings.
Great defense from Larma, recognizing the ball. Not such a strong pass there. Great attempt for the steal.
It's McCann to trigger on the inbound again for the Vikings. McCann trying to get a read, running out of time, gives it in the corner now to Pop. She's checked in for the first time. Webb up top, being guarded by O'Brien, gives it back over to Pop. Back to Webb. Webb going back out. Just can't get any look down low. They find one now. Hecker, mid-range shot is good, and that is Geneva's first basket of the game. O'Brien over to Silkitis. Silkitis backing down her defender, kicks it over to O'Brien. Back to Silkitis. Silkitis mid-range shot and make.
Silkitis with a little answer back after Hecker made the two. Now they're back up to 7.
PA accidentally calling her Olivia Silkitis there. We had that situation at York for a while too, Zach Silkitis. Or should I say Zach Silkitis? Yeah, I don't think you'd like that one. McCain mid-range shot, no good. Rebounded by Larma. Now over to Kehoe. Kehoe going inside again by herself. This time she is fouled on her way up.
Great move from Kehoe. She recognized Filosa kind of fading off, falling back, going outside to the corner. Decides to take it herself, and she drew the foul.
Yeah, great read by her. Now she is at the line for a pair. You know, Zach, I gotta say, we're really close to the action right now, if you couldn't tell. I mean, the players are right in front of us. This is almost like Tosh, the intimacy, you know?
Yeah.
But this gym is so cool. We are standing right now. I know it's a weird angle here, the broadcast itself, but we're on a track right now up above the stands. Really nice bleachers, might I add. Plastic bleachers. I feel like York should have invested those too. I mean, we host the biggest basketball tournament in the state. So,
at least comfy basketball
yeah,
tournaments.
and look at this. A real life scoreboard. A real scoreboard. A Jumbotron, if you must, hanging down
Glaze.
up above. It is, but like, it's incredible.
This very cool scoreboard. It'd be nice if lots of high school basketball schools could afford them.
I think our gym's tall enough for one. I just think it's a matter of funds. Ball stripped away there by Filosa. It'll stay with Geneva. Kayla Callahan checks into the game along with Amelie Van Ucklum. Kehoe and Larma taking their first breaks of the night.
Dukes with a commanding lead early on in the late stages of the first quarter.
McCann over to Webb. Now to Pop, back to Webb. Webb going inside, gives it back out to Pop. Now down low, McCann posting up, gives it in the corner now. Sprague tries to drive, and they'll wave off that bucket, call another foul. Dukes are being a bit foul heavy here thus far, I must say.
Both teams almost at 4 fouls each.
Ball given up top now, tough pass over to Pop, now to Webb. Pop, back to Webb. Now down low, McCann gets this one stripped away by O'Brien. Duke's taking it the other way. O'Brien, no look pass to Filosa. Filosa, tough mid-range shot. Looks like her defender got a hand on it. Callahan with the offensive rebound. They reset up top. Filosa coming off a screen here. Tough three, won't go. Oh, wow, and a major collision down there. I can't really see it.
They're going to call the jump ball.
Yeah, wow.
Great aggression from Bradley O'Brien.
Yeah, it really went diving on the floor there for the ball. Scary. And it's O'Brien herself to trigger on the inbound. She gives it down low to Filosa. Filosa goes back inside by herself. Great move there.
Faked out her defender. She had no idea where she was going. McCann kind of went back out and lost Filosa, left her wide open.
Sprague in the corner, goes inside, pulls up mid-range. Shot rims around and in. O'Brien taking it up for the Dukes now. She gets it across the timeline and gives it to Silkaitis. Silkaitis over to O'Brien. Now to Callahan in the corner. Callahan back to O'Brien. Now to Silkaitis. She pulls up from three. Off the mark there. O'Brien gets the second chance effort, though. Great tip by Van Uclum.
Duke's trying to run a play, get a wide open look.
Callahan to Van Uclum. Thought about popping it because it's a Filosa instead. Filosa pump fakes a few times there, and she'll be called for a travel there.
Not sure about that one. She took 2 steps fighting her way through 2 defenders. Don't know what the ref saw that we didn't, but we're kind of right here too.
Silkaitis being subbed out now. Kehoe is back in for the final less than a minute here in the first quarter.
Duke's great ball movement so far this quarter. You had Silkaitis open in the corner on that travel call for Filosa, and before that you had Bradley O'Brien open in the other corner.
And another jump ball called there. No, they'll just call a foul, but another aggressive play there from O'Brien. She is not letting up on any of these dead balls, Zach.
Yeah, definitely a great defensive asset to the team at this moment in time.
They're going to have to sub her out, though. She is finding herself in a bit of foul trouble with all this aggression, but it's coming in use thus far, forcing a lot of turnovers. I believe she has 2 or 3 steals already.
And that's going to be a travel.
Wow. So 41 seconds left here in the first quarter. We'll see if the Dukes just opt to hold for the final possession here. It's Callahan taking it up. She gives it over to Larma. Now to Kehoe. Kehoe to Filosa. Filosa trying to create on her own. She's on an island. Step back 3. Off the mark. Out of bounds. And it's Geneva basketball.
Filosa making the moves she normally makes. Unfortunately, the shot's just not falling. They're all fairly close, though.
All inbounded here to McCann. McCann swings this one over to Sweeney. Now a pass down low. No foul called there, and a layup is good there for Peterson.
Great defense on the Duke's part, keeping their hands straight up. Got the block the first time. Ball fell right back into her hands and got the bucket.
5 seconds to go now in the first quarter. Kehoe going inside again by herself. Tough move, won't go. She only has a few seconds. They'll dribble it out, and that is how the first quarter will end. Scored 13-6. The Dukes were started off 7-0. They still lead by 7, but it looks a bit more manageable here for Geneva. With that, we will step away. Second quarter coming soon. You're watching York Sports Network. And we welcome you back here. Start of the second quarter. It is Geneva basketball. They trail by 7 now. Score 13-6. Dukes with a 7-point lead. Webb up top. Gives it in the corner now to Hecker. Hecker gets this one stripped away by Larma, and it's last touched by Larma herself.
Another great defensive play for the Dukes. They've been doing very well in that part of their game so far today.
Ball given in the corner now. Pop's able to keep it in bounds, but it's stolen by Filosa. Filosa taking it by herself. She doesn't have numbers anymore, so she kicks it out of the corner. Kehoe for 3. That one looked way off from the jump. And that is a foul on the Dukes.
Another great example of that great ball movement. Wide open in the corner. The shot's just not falling right now for the Dukes. Started out hot. It's kind of cooled off since the beginning of the game.
Yeah, it just looked like that ball didn't come out of Kehoe's hands right. It looks like she was a bit flustered when when she got the ball in her hands.
Definitely.
Understandably so. That was a quick play being run there. They lost numbers quick. Ball given down low now. Sweeney turns around. Jumper no good. Rebounded by Silkaitis. Now O'Brien bringing it across the timeline. She gives it back to Silkaitis. Silkaitis posting up, gives it out to Callahan. Callahan thought about shooting it. Bounces it down low to Silkaitis. Goes up and one. Olivia Silkaitis.
Great play from Silkaitis beforehand. She missed the opportunity to pass to Kayla Callahan wide open, but she drove, gave it back to Callahan, and she made the amazing pass to Silkaitis.
Silkaitis is not able to convert the and one. Duke still fighting for the ball. And they'll call a jump, so it's Duke's ball again.
Great aggression from the Dukes on that play. Hustling after the ball. Don't know how it got out that far without anybody having possession, though.
And, the one thing that I question in a lot of those Saturday matinee games that the Dukes had was their ability to hustle. It felt like they weren't hustling, going at 100% all the time, which is understandably so. It's a Saturday afternoon game. I get that. That's like AAU time right there, but I don't know if it's because it's the evening, it's because we're on the road, but hopefully it's because it's playoffs. That would be my hope. We're in a different mode. We've activated a different mode, a different motivation.
Yeah, that was a play call from Coach Collins. You don't see that every day, but it did work out. Almost.
Silkaitis' second chance effort is no good.
Another jump ball.
And another jump. Geneva basketball.
Duke's getting a lot of boards shot. Like I said, just didn't fall there.
Hecker checking back in as Pop will take a seat. Another foul called there on O'Brien.
Not sure about that one.
That,
That seemed a little ticky-tacky. Kind of just jumped and, like, tapped her arm.
Yeah. That's a call that could go either way. So they're going to have to sub her out again, though. I mean, that's two or three personals. I will say that 3 personals. There's no score box on here, box score. So we're keeping stats ourselves. We don't really have a statistician. Ball is stolen. Callahan loses control. She recovers, though. She takes it back out herself, gives it over to Silkaitis. Silkaitis spinning, gives it out to Larma. Larma back to Silkaitis. Callahan. Going by herself, layup no good there. Geneva recovers. Waywire pass there is saved by Webb. Webb gives it over to McCann for 3, no good. Offensive rebound is swatted away by Callahan. Geneva will retain possession. And checking in for the first time is Kat Serwin as Sweeney will check out.
Not the shot you want to see right there. Down 9.
Webb up top, being guarded by Kehoe. Fakes a pass, gives it down low. Another pass down low is intercepted by Callahan. Geneva will have another chance to score here. They've just been getting disrupted here on offense by the Dukes.
Yeah, great passes in the paint, just weren't quick enough. Callahan recognized what was happening and knocked that ball away.
Ball given down low and a foul called on Silkaitis there.
That's going to be her second of the day as well.
So, yeah, it looks like they're going to bring in Paige Byrne for her just to add, she's your big off the bench. And a good thing about Byrne being checked in is she increases your versatility in your lineup. Bank shot on the free throw is good there.
Silkaitis is going to stay in the game.
Oh, wow, yeah, okay.
Commandus Larma.
Pretty big lineup here being run by the Dukes. I mean, you got Kehoe, Callahan, Van Euclem, Silkaitis, and Byrne. That's a tall lineup right there, and it looks like
kind of massive.
Yeah, kind of massive, and it looks like Geneva's matching up with that. Silkaitis, backdoor pass down low. Callahan gets a nice lane there for 2.
Beautiful pass from Silkaitis. Recognized right away what they were trying to do. Callahan, great finish.
This backcourt press here by the Dukes being run is absolutely lethal. Geneva just can't seem to respond to it. They get a nice look there. McCann's shot no good. It's rebounded by Silkaitis, but she's getting tied up. It's going to be a jump ball, and it's going the Dukes' way.
Yeah, Geneva just not having any time to shoot the ball. I haven't seen them take more than maybe half a second to shoot a ball so far this game because the Dukes are always right on top of them.
Just absolutely hounding them on defense thus far. And it's all starting in the backcourt with that press that Coach Collins seems to be running pretty efficiently thus far into this game. Byrne going inside, gives it in the corner to Van Euclem. Now to Kehoe, over to Callahan. Callahan looking for an outlet. She gives it to Van Euclem. Van Euclem going around, going inside. It's out of bounds. It is Duke's ball.
Great move from Van Euclem. She's got slapped there. Not sure if it was her wrist or the ball. But either way, it's going to be Duke's ball.
Byrne trying to find an outlet, gives it down low to Callahan. She goes back out, gives it to Van Euclem. Back to Callahan. Callahan, mid-range shot. And make. That rolled around for a minute.
Yeah, that was a very odd roll around from the ball. Ended in the rim, though. Ended in the rim.
Corner 3, way off the mark there. And it's Duke's basketball.
This Geneva team just can't seem to get a shot to fall. I was saying that the Dukes were cooling down, but Geneva hasn't. I don't think they scored a single point. Maybe only one bucket this entire second quarter.
Larma checking in, Callahan taking a seat. Silkaitis taking the ball up. Gives it to Larma. Now to Byrne. Byrne to Van Euclem for 3 off the mark. Geneva's able to track down that rebound. Here they go. Webb gets this ball tipped away. It stays with the Vikings. Webb being doubled up top. Great zone defense being run here by the Dukes. Another pass interrupted, but a foul called down low. That foul will be called on Van Ucklem. She's up to 2. And it looks like they will sub out Van Ucklem and sub in Maggie McCuckey here for her first minutes of the game. And I know I said there's a big lineup being run by the Dukes earlier, and while that is true, this is one of their bigger lineups. This is a really, really small Geneva team right here. So I feel like no matter what lineup you're running, you could run a backcourt of Carter, O'Brien, and Geiger if you really wanted to, and I feel like the Dukes would still be able to size them up a decent amount.
Geneva finally getting the shot to fall on a little bouncing.
So Kaitis over to Larma. Now to McCuckey. McCuckey bounces this one in the corner to Silkaitis. Now back out. McCuckey for 3. Can't connect that time. It's rebounded by Hecker. Geneva on a fast break. They recover off a swiped pass there. McCann up top gives it in the corner now. 3 ball up. Ooh, and just off the mark there. McCuckey taking it the other way. Dukes lead by 10 now. And a timeout called by Coach Collins. Dukes are going to want to talk some things over. They still have a 10-point lead, but Geneva seems to be getting something going a bit nicer here on the offensive end. So the Dukes are going to look to disrupt that even more. With that, we'll step away. You are watching York Sports Network. We welcome you back here from the short break. Dukes up by 10 still. And they have possession. Silkaitis for 3. Connects right off the rip of the timeout, and the bench is loving it.
Whatever Collins said, it must have worked, because the Dukes came out with great ball movement. Once again, their offense is flowing.
Dukes chilling right now. Webb getting hounded on a double team here. And a timeout called by the Vikings.
Great defense from the Dukes, locking her up in the corner.
This is exactly where the Dukes want to be coming out of a timeout. Don't go anywhere. You're watching York Sports Network. Welcome you back here from the timeout called by the Vikings. Wanted to talk over their offensive strategy. Corner 3. Off the mark there. It's rebounded by Kehoe. Here come the Dukes again.
Pierre Pop just hucking it up. They didn't have enough time to get the shot off again. Dukes playing great defense.
Silkaitis fade away. And a spin move. Nasty, nasty work right there.
That was a great move from Silkaitis. She's tried that move all season with success.
McCann gives this one over to Webb. Webb back to McCann. Larma taps this one away. McCann's there to recover. Could have got called for a backcourt there, if anything. McCann drives inside, Tough layup, no good. It's taken away by Silkaitis. Good read there, slowing it down. Kehoe taking it up now. Silkaitis going inside, bounces it down low to McCuckey. Kehoe to Callahan. Now to Silkaitis. Screen there from Callahan up top. McCuckey drives, gives it out. Silkaitis, mid-range shot. No good there, off the mark. Hecker taking it the other way now for Geneva. She gives it up ahead to McCann. McCann in the corner now. Three-pointer off the mark. Larma gives this one over to Kehoe. She's by herself. She opts to slow it down here, wait for some more Lady Dukes to come over. Silkaitis, less than a minute to go here in the first half. Callahan gets a nice screen and separation. Three ball just off the mark. Kehoe's there for the offensive rebound. She gives it over to Larma. Quick release, also off the mark there. And Pop comes down with the rebound. Webb getting doubled in the backcourt here. She's got to get it across before you get a 10-second violation. Corner three. No good there. An offensive rebound and putback make from Hecker.
As Geneva finally reaches the double-digit status.
Larma gets a screen from Silkaitis. Gives it down low to Silkaitis now. Pass almost intercepted. Out of bounds with 0.5 seconds to go.
Not sure what Geneva's going to do here.
Hey, you could chuck up a shot in that time.
Then Duke's probably...
I think, like, scientifically it's 0.3 seconds.
No good!
Shot didn't count either way. So that is how the first half will end. Dukes with the convincing lead here, 24-11, 13-point lead. And everything seems to be rolling for them thus far, Zach.
Yeah, definitely the Duke's offense flowing very, very nicely. Almost unstoppable. The Geneva coach heard her a couple times screaming at her team to play some defense.
So with that, we will step away. Second half coming your way in 10 minutes. You are watching York Sports Network. And welcome back here, folks. Second half of IHSA Regionals Round 1 here at Geneva High School. This is, of course, the regional site for the regional bracket the Dukes are competing in. After this, they go off to St. Charles East to compete in sectionals, assuming they win tomorrow against Batavia. So Batavia beat Glenbar North today, soundingly, might I add. Batavia seeded second in this bracket. York coming in seeded 7th. So that'll be a tough matchup for the Dukes if they win this one. They lead by 13 right now, 24-11. And Zach, a West Suburban Conference, boys West Suburban Conference upset. Obviously, regular season still going on there. LT wins on a half-court buzzer beater to beat the 5th-ranked Hinsdale Central Red Devils.
Yeah, that's absolutely wild. LT always a great team, so they definitely deserved it.
No, absolutely. But beating such a highly ranked team in Hinsdale Central. But, you know, we saw a lot of potential in LT, obviously, at the Jack Tosches. They upset St. Lawrence round 1. Pelosa pull-up mid-range shot, no good there.
She gets thrown to the ground.
Yeah, Kehoe going for another dead ball there. Still, Dukes basketball. O'Brien to trigger on the inbound. O'Brien to Filosa. Filosa going inside. Kicks this one to O'Brien. Now to Selkaitis. Alarma to O'Brien. Filosa thought about shooting it. Spins around. Goes inside. Tough shot. Way off there, and it's rebounded by the Vikings. Here comes McCann. Gives it in the corner now. Mid-range shot up, and no good there. Another offensive opportunity here for Geneva. Another mid-range shot, and make there for Gabby Webb.
Webb finally getting a real shot off. Haven't seen a lot of actual shots from Geneva this game. Kind of just chucking it up as quick as they can to get an opportunity to score.
So Kaitis going inside on her own. She's blocked away. No foul called there. And it's going Geneva's way. They seem to have some momentum coming out of this halftime break, Zach.
Definitely. Not sure about that call, though. I didn't see completely now that the Dukes are on the other side of the court.
Sweeney over to Webb. Webb up top again. Going inside. Foul called.
O'Brien stuck out her foot on that one. Just kind of tripped over it.
She is in some foul trouble right now. That's 4 personals on her, and we're not even 2 minutes in to the third quarter. You cannot lose her in a consequential winner-go-home game like this.
I could see her sitting the rest of this third quarter. Maybe not even going in until the late stages of the fourth, but they still need her.
If I'm Coach Collins, I am opting to do that and preserve her as much as possible. She's been facilitating for the Dukes so well. Mid-range shot again from Geneva. Seem to be taking a lot of those this entire game. Filosa taking it the other way. Gives this one over to Silkaitis. Now back to Filosa. Callahan. Back to Filosa. Filosa going inside, pulls up again, and gets the rim around to fall. Dukes now have double their opponent's points. Ball swatted by Kehoe there. It's taken away by Callahan. She gives it over to Filosa now. Filosa trying to create. Gives it to Callahan. Now to Silkaitis. Over to Kehoe. Kehoe going inside. Gives it to Callahan for 3. It's good. Kayla Callahan from deep three-point range.
Beautiful shot from Callahan. Found her open. Quick catch-and-shoot action.
McCann gives this. Oh, no, she keeps this one instead. I'd out for a pass there. She gets it back. Turns around. Three-pointer. Up and good.
Back-to-back three-pointers for each team. Both teams come out to this half guns blazing on three-pointers.
Callahan almost gets a one swiped away. She recovers and gives it to Silkaitis. 5 minutes to go here. Kehoe. Foul called there on Geneva. Kate Carter checking in now for the first time this game. Have not seen a lot of action. Well, haven't seen any action from her at all, but she's usually a big part of this Dukes team and usually starts. So interesting to see there. Filosa, no foul called there. It's taken away by Geneva. Silkaitis intercepts it again, though. Now Callahan taking it the other way on a fast break. She opts to slow it down, gives it over to Silkaitis. Silkaitis thought about shooting it, gives it over to Filosa. Carter spinning, falls over there. Filosa steps back, three-pointer, got it! And a Filosa.
Great move from Filosa on the step back off the 1 foot. Haven't seen that shot fall for her that much this year, but that was butter.
Kehoe takes this one away. She's going inside by herself, gets it stripped away. She recovers. She's blocked again. That's 4 blocks in this quarter for Geneva. Three-pointer from Silkaitis is off. Kehoe, another offensive rebound. Callahan, another three-pointer. Another make! The Dukes are rolling, and a timeout called by Geneva.
I haven't seen the Dukes make this many threes at all this season. They can't seem to miss.
Just ballistic right now. 35-16. Don't go anywhere. You're watching York Sports Network.
Nope.
Carter taking it the other way. A foul called on Pop there. So the Dukes will just start over, advancing by a slim margin.
One thing I gotta say, I used to play AAU basketball, Luca, and the refs compared to this is very different. The refs in high school basketball, they call every single ticky-tacky foul, but AAU, they only call the real stuff. Well, that's what I think they got to do for high school basketball. They call way too many fouls, the ticky-tacky stuff. You can't call every little thing.
Let the kids play. Let the kids play. Silkaitis to Callahan in the corner, now up top to Filosa. She fakes, steps back, three-pointer. Ooh, just off the mark there. Silkaitis pulls down the offensive rebound. She gives it to Carter. Now to Filosa. Silkaitis fakes. And a travel call there on Silkaitis. And Van Euclid will check back in for the Dukes as Kehoe will take a rest.
Silkaitis saw her defender jumping with joy, just a little bit too quick to it.
Almost like that classic Angel Reese pump fake, where your feet don't leave the ground. Well, you try and make sure your feet don't leave the ground. Unfortunately, Silkaitis has left the ground that time, but looked like that's the move she was going for, if anything.
Deflected.
Ooh. Ooh, but it's recovered. Webb goes inside, fakes, gives it out of the corner. Mid-range shot and make there from Hecker.
Down 15 now to the Dukes. Both teams doing pretty well in the offensive game so far in the second half. Way better than the first half.
Filosa trying to create, gives it over to Silkaitis. Silkaitis trying to create herself, gives it into the corner. Van Euclid for three. Off the mark there. It's taken away by the Vikings. Here they go. Ball is too high there, out of bounds. It's going the Dukes' way.
Geneva trying to go quick in transition, trying to make this take away this large margin. Did not end up working for them that time.
2 minutes, 28 seconds left here in the third quarter. Dukes with a 15-point lead. Oh, they're playing aggressive here out the gate. And a turnover there. They'll say it went off Carter's leg. You know, and the Geneva bench is still keeping the dream alive here, you know, bringing some hype, bringing some energy, some hope.
You know, on that one, I do agree with the refs. There was no real contact, per se, in that play. That was just some great defense from Geneva.
Well, if you saw that there, also the Dukes are starting to have to rush things in the backcourt now. Much better press being run by Geneva. That's maybe how they can mount their comeback here. I mean, that's how the Dukes were so successful in the first half, running a backcourt trap. But now you have, if you're the Dukes, you have the backcourt demon in Kate Carter. Three-pointer on the mark there for McCann.
That's a crazy shot to be taking, but you got to take some crazy shots when you're down 15.
Carter to Van U Club. Now to Selkaitis. Selkaitis in the corner to Callahan for three. No good off the mark there that time. Hecker gets this one intercepted by Callahan. It's recovered by Hecker, though.
Great defense from the Dukes. They got to hurry up or they're going to get called for 8 seconds.
10 seconds in high school, 10 seconds. And a timeout called by Geneva. Savvy move there. You did not want to get called for that. A minute 36 left here in the third quarter of action. Don't go anywhere. You are watching York Sports Network. Welcome back here. Third quarter with a minute 36 seconds left here. Dukes with a 35-23, 12-point lead here. Geneva seeming to get something going here offensively. I mean, they were trailing by 20 just a few minutes ago, so we'll see if they can get more stuff to gel, but the main Larma will check right back in. Again, O'Brien with 4 personal fouls, so one more and she's out of this game. Webb up top, being guarded by Kehoe. Drive inside here. Ball deflected by the Dukes. Filosa taking it the other way. She gives it over to O'Brien. Larma going inside. Jump ball. Huh?
Both teams having some great defense. I mean, that's another jump ball inside the paint. We've seen that happen almost all game from both sides of the court.
Ball given down low to Kehoe. She goes up for 2 and in.
Extend their lead even more. 37-23 minute remaining in the third quarter.
Drive inside here by Sprague. She passes it to Filosa instead of one of her teammates. Filosa, Euro step lay. Off the mark there.
Good move. Euro step, very valuable in high school basketball.
Hecker taking it the other way by herself. Layup no good. Offensive rebound. Second chance effort. Short. Larma trying to pull that ball away. And it'll stay with the Vikings.
Great defense from Selkaitis, planting her feet, getting ready to take the charge. Geneva not getting any shot to fall there.
Ball inbounded here. Now given up top to Sweeney. Sweeney down low to Hecker. Pull up mid-range shot is good there from McCann.
Ball kind of just being thrown around there on that play, and she just ended up with it. Good shot.
Filosa going inside by herself. Tough layup, got it. 39-25. Ball goes out of bounds there with 7.1 seconds to go.
These Dukes putting up a great game today. One of their best games of the season, I have to say. Great offense, great defense. They're hitting all their shots. Overall, just a great game for the Dukes so far.
O'Brien gives us one in the corner now to Larma, now to Filosa at the buzzer. Oh, just off the mark there. So third quarter comes to an end. Score 39-25. Duke still with the convincing 14-point lead. We'll see if they're able to hold on to this and advance to the next round to face the Batavia Bulldogs for the regional championship matchup and to hopefully make it to sectionals and even further, Zach. With that, we will step aside. You are watching York Sports Network. Welcome back here. Start of the fourth quarter. Duke's with it. O'Brien up top now. Selkaitis going inside. Spins around, gives it to Kehoe. Now to O'Brien again. O'Brien drives, gets this one intercepted, and a travel instead called there.
Both teams putting up great paint defense. Not drawing many fouls, I should say, on either side inside the paint. More or less it's happening up and down in the middle of the court on fast breaks and transition.
Here comes Geneva with a 14-point deficit. We'll see if they can rally here in the fourth. Sweeney gets this one over to Webb, tries to throw it off O'Brien. O'Brien's layup no good there. Now Filosa recovers, mid-range shot and make.
Everybody seems to be making their shots today for the Dukes.
Geneva getting hounded here on defense. It's taken away by O'Brien, now Selkaitis. And O'Brien's still staying aggressive despite her 4 personal fouls. Kehoe in the corner, now to Selkaitis. Larma pulls up, mid-range shot, no good there.
A lot of spin on that one.
Sweeney pulls up for a 3 of her own. It's no good. Larma's not able to secure the offensive rebound. It is thrown off of Filosa, and Geneva will recover.
6:45 remaining. Dukes with a commanding lead. Almost safe to say that they have this game secured. Anything can happen, though.
Yeah, we saw Northwestern blow a 20-point lead the other day against Nebraska, so these comebacks are unfortunately possible. And there's a made field goal right there. Comeback is here. O'Brien stops, gives this one over to Larma. Larma recovers, gives it over to Kehoe. Kehoe in the corner to Selkaitis. Selkaitis, three-pointer, offline there that time. Sweeney taking it the other way now for Geneva. She gives it over to Hoke. Oh, there's been a timeout called. Folks, the Dukes are rolling, to say simply. Score 41-27. This is exactly the situation you want to be in and the momentum you want to have going into a tough second-round matchup against Batavia. That game will be at, it's either a 5:30 or a 7:30 slot. I hope it's a 7:30 slot again because, you know, this is a Thursday. This is a drive. This is like 45 minutes away from Elmhurst.
What was this? This was like about 40 minutes away as well.
Yeah, this.
It's about 50 with traffic earlier.
Yeah. And there's no expressway. There's no expressway interstate to take. You are going completely down friendly roads, you know? O'Brien gives us one in the corner to Kehoe. Kehoe up top now gives it to Silkaitis. Foul called there.
Silkaitis had the open lane in that. Unfortunately, she got fouled before she could drive.
Yeah, smart move there by Geneva. 41-27, your score. Callahan gives this one over to Carter. Carter gets fouled there.
Another foul outside of the paint. Nobody's hacking today inside the lane, but everybody's fouling at the top of the key and on transition.
Carter having a Tony Snell night, actually. A 0-0-0.